What's going on, guys? It's Char here, back with another unboxing video. Now today I'm super excited. These came in a bit early for me, but you can tell by the title we're going to get into the Hercules and Wonder Man box expansions, hero pack expansions for the newest Marvel Champions product. I'm super excited about both of these guys. I've been really looking forward to Wonder Man and also looking forward to Hercules, but I've been a bit hesitant on where I think he'll end up power-wise, but that doesn't matter right now. Let's go ahead and get into both of these boxes. Let's take a look at their new cards and everything in between, any sort of reprints or anything. I have no idea. There's very few. There's some areas that have got it, but I haven't really seeken out any of the reprints or anything like that. But of course, you guys will be able to see that firsthand here, and make sure you're not missing any cards once they hit a store shelves near you. Let's say Wonder Man is even and Hercules is odd, and let's see which one we're opening first. So odd means we are opening Hercules first. Let's go ahead and put Wonder Man off to the side. These are going to be the sleeves. These are the sleeves I use to record, and just in general, they're the Gamegenic mats. So we're just going to open both of them here. These are 250 sleeve packs, so no reason to just open one later. So we have one of these packs here. We'll just open it up, set the other one to the side, and go from there. What are you guys looking forward to most out of these packs? Do you have any sort of reprints you want to put in your last minute predictions before we get crack open? Just let me know down below. I really love this new packaging. I've said it a million times. It looks so much better than the old ones they used to do. The clamshells and all that stuff. Again, I could get on the kind of saving the planet rant, but a couple people didn't like that the last time for some reason. But yes, it's just a win-win-win. Looks so much better for the environment and everything in between. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and open up Hercules here. I already took the tape off the edges beforehand just to speed this up a little bit. But yeah, that's it. That's kind of like the rest of the box in there. So we'll go ahead and set this over to the side. Take a look at the insert really quickly. We're not going to read through anything, but I think this is Frank's first design. So it should say here, we have design and development Frank Brooks with additional development from Caleb and Tony. And then we can see the big full art poster behind. Looks really cool, really awesome. And yeah, let's go ahead and set that to the side. We know Hercules is coming in what aspect? He's in leadership. So that's really cool. We got the little packaging here. Let's go ahead and crack this open and let's get looking at these cards, the card counts and everything like that. Not going to go super in depth unless there's like a reprint or something that I wasn't expecting here. But again, we've seen most of their cards from the reveals and whatnot. I'm pretty sure there's no hero cards that will be surprises. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So we got Hercules here. We've got the Avengers Olympus traits, 4 hand size, 14 hit points, 132 stat line. Go ahead and throw that in the sleeve there. Very cool. Now we have all his labor decks here. So we have Defeat the Hydra, we have Embody Pathos, and then we also have Protect Humanity. I'm just going to go ahead and sleeve this up. All the extra cards I'm not going to sleeve up because there's not really any point to it until I throw those in a deck. So we have those two. These are his 3 labors here. I like how one of them is an obligation and the other 2 are attachments. So then we have all his gifts here. So we have the Nemean Lion Skin, which gives him that +2 hit points and steady. You got the Shield of Perseus, which gives him +1 hit point and Retaliate 1, which is probably one of my favorite. And then we have the Sword of Peleus, which is +1 hit point and access to piercing. Very cool. We'll go ahead and set those together. He has so many extra cards that aren't part of his 15, so maybe we'll see a bit less of the back of the pack cards. I don't really remember. We have Amadeus Cho, probably one of the allies I'm most excited for. He's just an Avengers Mansion on the ally legs. We have 3 copies of Gift of Battle, which I think is kind of pretty obvious. He would have this, the 3-cost event that you deal 5 damage to an enemy, but of course the cost goes down for every labor you have cleared, aka gift card you have in play. We got 2 copies of Son of Zeus. This is the card that I was kind of hesitant about when you're rating an identity specific upgrade, but you know his golden mace is a good upgrade to ready once you have a couple of gifts on the table for sure. The other one's getting a tough and drawing a card. I think this card, low-key sleeper, one of the best cards in his kit. We have 2 copies, it looks like, of Wisdom of Athena. This is his 4-cost, 3-cost remove 4 threat. Again, at its base value, it's quite bad, but once you get a couple of gifts on the table, it's pretty good. We have the Gauntlets of Hercules, all these 0-cost cards. We have 0-cost Olympus, 0-cost Gauntlet of Hercules, 1-cost Golden Mace, 0-cost Herc's Helm. So it really does behoove you to just get these upgrades down because they don't really cost you much from hand. I love the kind of like the design they did, making all his stuff kind of cost 0 to make kind of that 4 hand size curve a bit better to bear. You've got Lion of Olympus here, which is 2 copies of his upgrade, which has the temporary keyword, where you just get +1 to all your stats until the end of, I'm pretty sure it's the round. It's not the phase. Then we have Prince of Power here as 1 cost upgrade, and that is the last card we have. So now we're getting into the leadership side of the Precon. So we have a couple of cards here. We do have Death Cry, which is an ally they showed off. We also have Namora, who I rated on the recent tier list predictions. Let me know what you guys think about those type of videos. I think they're fun. I think they interact with the community in a fun way. And let me know any predictions you had on that video as well. 3 copies of Teamwork, which is a reprint. I'm not sure if we had any reprints confirmed, but this is a reprint that makes a ton of sense. It says when you use your basic thwart power, basic attack power, you can exhaust an ally you control to add their power to that activation. It's pretty important for Hercules specifically because of his labors and having to defeat the Hydra or that one side scheme he has to defeat. And I think it's like Hercules is the only one who can deal damage to them, so that's pretty big. Ooh, speaking of something that's pretty big, a call for backup reprint. I think we saw this in one of the live streams, but I kind of forgot we were getting it. This art is amazing. I think I remember seeing him hold up Rocket, and yeah, a call for backup reprint, always appreciated. Such a good card, especially in multiplayer. Basically, always want to get that cleared. 3 copies of the Recruitment Drive card. Gonna be kind of tough for this hero specifically to pay for it, but I do like the card, and I think he could find a home in a couple decks, especially in multiplayer. 3 copies of Avenge Me. This is the 0 cost upgrade. Whenever play only if your identity has the Avengers trait, you attach to an ally, and when they're defeated, you draw 2 cards. So you kind of get a bit of a what's it called? A rebate when an ally is defeated. We have Gilgamesh in here, another ally we went ahead and rated on that tier list. Ancient Rivalry here, which is their team up card, which is lets you search for upgrades added to your hand and ready both of them. And then, oh, speaking of another big reprint, I didn't even see that. I was focused on the team up card. 3 more copies of Limitless Stamina. Yes, please. This was only available, I think, in SPDR, unless I'm mistaken. But now we have 6 copies in the game, which is awesome. I love playing the 14 HP heroes, and that just means I don't have to shuffle around the copies as often. We have the 1 copy of Evaluate Threat, which I think is an insanely strong, insanely strong player side scheme that I think we'll be seeing a lot of play. Especially in my multiplayer games. I will hand out mansions for people to put in their decks if they don't have one, because it's such a strong card. You should just be getting the mansion down turn 1 if we're building for power. We have the copies of the Energies, the Genius, and the Strength. These are the ones from the Civil War wave, so they're just right at home here. Got a copy of Avengers Compound. We got another Helicarrier reprint. That's awesome. And do I see another 3 cost support? Yes, we do. We have another printing of the Quinn Carrier, and I think it's kind of interesting to discuss the game in this way, because with the advent of the environments, you have Legacy, Limited, and Current. There was no copy of the Quinn Carrier in the current environment. Well, now there is, so the Avengers can breathe easy that their cards that they love doing, their resource generator that generates wild resources, is completely fine, and they will be okay in the current environment games. We have an obligation here called Appeal to Athena. This is a new card and was not shown off. Give to the Hercules player. When counting gift cards you control, you are considered to control none. Wow, that is really tough. Alter ego action, exhaust Hercules, or spend 2 mentals. Remove this obligation from the game. Okay, so it's a really tough effect, but at least when you go down to exhaust or spend 2 mentals, you do get to remove that card permanently. It's not go to the discard pile. Tough effect. Obligations should be tough. It should be like a problem you have to deal with. But that being said, man, that is a rough one for sure. So I'm kind of looking here, Olympic Feud here. So what are the 2 other cards we didn't have revealed? So we have Ares Axe attached to Ares, otherwise attached to the villain, +2 attack. After the attachment he attacks, if no friendly character took damage from this attack, discard this card. Wow, this can stay basically forever. You have to have someone not take damage from the attack. But if you have a tough, or you have like someone who's perfect defending the table, I mean, +2 attack for an attack isn't bad. We have God of War. Each minion attacks a player it is engaged with, even if that player is in alter ego form. This is really tough. If no minion activates this way, discard the cards from the top card of the encounter deck until a minion is revealed. Minion is discarded and reveal that minion. Okay, so if any minions attacks, it kind of gets around that negative effect. So not too bad. I kind of forgot that I need a little more than 50 to sleeve up the entire deck. Actually, I think for Hercules specifically, the only reason why I wasn't able to sleeve up the whole deck is because he has 6 cards taken up with his labors and whatnot. So let's go ahead and open the other pack of sleeves. I think we will be fine on Wonder Man. He doesn't have 6 extra cards that are just kind of floating around. He does have his mass form upgrade, but I think we should be okay. Let's just go ahead and sleeve up the rest of this, and we'll look at his back of pack cards. I'm pretty sure he's coming with a modular set, if I'm not mistaken. I guess I should have shown the back of the packaging here. It says new cards that can be added, a nemesis set. Oh, doesn't say anything about a modular set here, so maybe I was just making that up. So we will see what his back of the pack cards are, if there's like any reprints or anything like that. But yeah, that is Hercules. And we'll go ahead and stack all his cards up here. He does have a lot of extra cards he comes with. It could be kind of interesting for sure. Okay, so stop. The remaining cards are not part of the deck, and it just shows you the deck list he comes with. So we have another copy of Ancient Rivalry if you have a Thor on the table. Oh no, okay, it is a modular set. I did remember that correctly. It's the all versus all modular set. We have Hecate, Kikonos, Bewitched Officer. I don't think they showed this card. So it's Retaliate 1, Aerial Dragon, Enthralled. Okay, so we have more Enthralled support for like, what's it called? Trickster Takeover scenario. Retaliate 1, Bewitching Officers gain Piercing and Range, 1/3/5 attack. So pretty beefy minion. And then we have Roving Mobs, Victory 0, undefeated. Find all versus all side scheme and reveal it. Okay, so then that makes sure it comes out. All right, pretty cool there. I'm not going to read through those super closely, but yeah, that was Hercules. That was awesome. But let's go ahead and get to Wonder Man. Okay, so we are here with Wonder Man. This is the one I've been excited about, the one that's gotten me reading old comics from the 70s and 80s when he debuted. And so I'm just excited to get Wonder Man down to the table and to play him. So we go ahead and got that open. Took a little bit of prying there, but we got it. So we'll go ahead and put Wonder Man. I guess we can put him over on this side here. Yeah, we'll put it there because I kind of forgot my webcam is in that area. So we'll go ahead and open this. We'll look at the art again. I love the art on both these heroes. I think they look super cool. And again, the new artist they have on this game is just awesome. So we have Wonder Man. He's Injustice. I think his card kind of colors they chose from him looks really cool. I think his art looks amazing. I mean, look at that right there. And boom. So that is Wonder Man. We'll just go ahead and set this to the side and get him open in this wrap. So go ahead and open this up here. Kind of tough to get into these, but yeah, because I don't want to damage the cards or anything. But yeah, we got a couple of kind of pieces we're gonna have to throw in here. Just don't want to end up on my floor, have my dog eat them or something like that. So throw all the little paper pieces in there, put it off to the side. Wonder Man, the Man of Wonder, is here. So we have the Aerial Avenger 2/1/2 stat line. Is that power recycling ability where he gets +1 attack for each card he has tucked under his Ionic Physiology. And then after he makes a basic attack, you discard all of those cards. So boom, he's got that 3 recovery, 12 hit points, 6 hand size, 5 in hero. We have this Ionic Physiology permanent upgrade, which comes into play, which tucks all his cards after you play cards with a printed lightning resource. We have all his events here, which can be modular in terms of how much threat they remove or how much damage they do by taking advantage of the overpay mechanic present in this game, such as active altruism with the thwart effect. Remove 1 thwart from a scheme, remove 2 additional threat from that scheme for each energy resource you overpaid for this card for a maximum of 2. So it can be a 2 for 5 here if you do an overpay of 2. It says this one is Ionic Blast, he has 2 copies of. So he's better at thwarting it. He has 3 copies here, but 2 copies of Ionic Blast, which is deal 3 damage to an enemy, deal 2 additional damage for each lightning resource you overpaid for this card to a maximum of 1. So you pay the cost normally, which is just 1 for 3 damage. But if you put 3 more resources into it, if you put 3 more resources into it, it can do 5, 7, 9 damage, which is pretty good. So yeah, you have to spend 5 resources for it, so it's like a 4 cost event, 4 for 9, or you can do a 3 for 7 or something like that. But again, he will have ways to cheat kind of this overpaying mechanic to make his events really fun. So I said he was better at thwarting, but I kind of forgot he had this card too. He has 3 copies of the card Starstruck. Deal damage to an enemy equal to your attack. If you overpaid for this card with a lightning resource, stun that enemy. So this can be really good, especially if you build into attack for him. If you have 3 cards tucked underneath him, this is going to be a 1-for-4 and a stun. But honestly, if you're using this to take control of the board or take control of minions on the board, again, the naming of his cards are actually awesome too. Starstruck is super fun. Also, let me give credit to the main designer on Wonder Man here. We did it with Frank's first design. The main designer on this one was also Frank here. Actually, I don't know if this is exactly who the main designer of it was, but I'm just assuming he is at the top of this wave, so I assume he also had a hand in designing Wonder Man here. We have 2 copies. Oh my goodness, people were assuming he was gonna have 1. Oh, this is actually crazy. This completely changes kind of what I was thinking. I did not know he's going to have 2 copies of this card in his deck. Energy Siphon, I think, is an absolutely insane card. As a hero interrupt, when you spend this card, take up to 3 additional damage. This card generates 1 additional energy resource for each damage taken this way. I think this card is absolutely bonkers. The fact that you can take 3 damage, just make it a 4 cost, a 4-drop energy is absolutely crazy. I think it's the biggest energy, kind of resource you can get out of a single resource card in the entire game outside of organizational support that rests 3 supports that share the same trait with you. 1 card to give you 4 resources is extremely powerful. It will let him play very expensive cards, get his setup, anything he needs. Wow, that is very, very strong. We have the Wonder Fans Alter Ego support, which just gives him a reason to go into Alter Ego along with his sunglasses. We have the Jet Belt here, which is kind of this overpay economy where is a hero resource, you can exhaust it to generate a... Oh, this isn't the overpay one. I think it's the Mr. Hollywood. Yeah, Mr. Hollywood is the overpay one. Jet Belt just generates, what's it called? It generates energy resources for an event, or you can exhaust it and discard a card under your Ionic Physiology to generate a lightning resource in general. Then we have Mr. Hollywood here, which again is this title that helps him with his whole overpay mechanics going on, which makes it way easier to hit the kickers on his event. We have the signature sunglasses, which is again gives him a reason to flip up and down from hero and alter ego because he's able to tuck and manipulate the cards tucked underneath his Ionic Physiology. And once he does that, when he flips back up, he can add that card to his hand or tuck another one to just keep that kind of economy going. We have the What Are You, upgrade here, which lets him revive basically when he gets hit to 0 because he will be doing some self damage with this resource energy siphon he has, and he will be chipping himself down pretty low. So just in case you are scared about taking a big hit, you just go ahead, take that, completely refill up your Ionic Physiology and get back to swinging. We have Firebird here, we've got Hawkeye, we've got Scarlet Witch, all these fun and cool allies that have been revealed. We got the Sentry here, which I think is an awesome ally as well. Just has so much stats, and he can have a ton of really fun activations and whatnot. 3 copies of the Battlefield Benevolence card. It's another card we rated in that tier list. Shameless plug. Make sure to check it out if you so please. We have a reprint of Bombs Away here. I'm not sure if we saw this, if this was in one of the play tests, but this is a really cool art. Actually, I've never seen this one. It's all kind of like these different Iron Man suits. I don't know if this is all different Mark armors or something like that. But yes, you can exhaust an aerial character you control to choose a player, deal 3 damage to that player and each minion engaged with that player. Pretty fun event here, all things considered. And go ahead and keep sleeving these up. And again, he does have that one deck building rule, which you might be confused. Well, if he's Justice, why does he have all these different cards? He has a deck building rule that says you may include, it's called Ionic Energy Being, which I think is really cool and thematic. You may include events with a printed lightning resource icon from any aspect in your deck, which means we can play Bombs Away. This is a new Justice event we have everywhere all at once. You can only play if you have an aerial trait, which is pretty cool, and some more aerial support. You can choose X schemes, remove 2 threat from each scheme, 3 threat instead if you overpaid for this card. I think everywhere all at once is completely I think it's a very, very cool card in my opinion. If you choose like 2 schemes and then you play 3 for it, I think that I just think it's a really cool card that can modulate the way you thwart on things. It can hit the main, so it's not as limited as maybe a Even the Odds. But if you're playing 4-player, you probably want to play Even the Odds. I think it's a very interesting card that should be considered depending on the builds you're going for. 3 copies of the event Stronger Together. When a character other than your hero take any amount of damage, If that character shares a trait with your hero, reduce the damage by your defense. So if there's a lot of consequential going out on allies or something, they take a big hit, you might find a way to stop that with the Stronger Together card. We have 3 copies of Unified Strike, which is kind of like Teamwork, but it's the other way around, I think. When an ally uses a basic power, you can exhaust your hero. You add your hero's matching power to that ally's power for that use, and they also don't take a consequential, which is very, very cool. We have 3 copies of Heroic Conditioning, which is the last of the conditioning cards we were waiting for. Kind of sad that there wasn't a leadership one, though I don't know what they would have done for it. Honestly speaking, I had a couple predictions, but they all seemed kind of strong. But I'm glad that the Heroic Conditioning one is in the game now. Very cool and fun. Swordsman is another one of the cards that were revealed by our fellow content creators. Make sure you check them out and support it. I think that ally is pretty cool for sure. We've got 1 copy. There's no way. That's really funny. So there's a couple of heroes in this game where you don't want to play all 3 of the basic doubles, whether it's because you want to hit mentals on like maybe like a hone technique or something like that, or for some other reason they have some sort of energy requirements where they have like different energy types they want to be spending, like with the Jubilee. The doubles aren't super great on them. I think it's super funny. His whole thing is about ionic energy, and he only comes with energy. That's really funny. I probably would put the 3 doubles in regardless, but honestly, he might be able to get around without it, considering he has 2 quad resources up 2 in his kit. Maybe there's a way that he doesn't need it. But this is a completely new card here. So we have Pacifism, which is a big part of Wonder Man's character, not necessarily at the part of the run I'm at reading about him, but it is something I learned, and this art is awesome. Yeah, it's really cool art. Give to the Simon Williams player, Wonder Man cannot attack, which is super fun. Alter Ego action, exhaust Simon Williams, or discard 3 cards tucked under Ionic Physiology. Discard this card. Okay, so this is a pretty tough Alter Ego, but all things considered, I don't think it's as tough as Hercules. It just does kind of depend. So they both have an option to exhaust or do something else to get rid of it. I think Simon's something else is much worse than Hercules is, but Hercules also only has 4 cards in his hand, so I think you almost would never want to get rid of 3 Ionic Physiology tug cards unless you really had to recover going down that turn. You're probably always just going to take a turn down, exhaust, get some stuff off of the Wonder Fans in your sunglasses, and go from there. Now we're going to just go ahead and sleeve up his Nemesis set here, so we should have just enough cards here, maybe just enough sleeves here for exactly to fill up both of these things. So we have to see the last card we didn't see from the Grim Reaper, which is Death Cannot Die. So it is a treachery here, the boost effect. Okay, let's see what it is. Grim Reaper activates against you. If Grim Reaper is not in play, find him and reveal him. Okay, that definitely makes this card a bit scarier. It's kind of makes this ally a bit scarier because you can defeat him, right? He only has 3 health. He's not super strong, but he does have 2 cognitive treachery that just fishes him back out. He's going to quick strike you for 2 again. He never goes away. Death cannot die. I kind of love the theming of that. And Grim Reaper is constantly a thorn in Simon's side too, so it makes a ton of sense. And what is the boost effect? If the Grim Reaper is played, he activates against you. Okay, so the boost effect doesn't really mean anything. So as a boost card, this is kind of a joke because you're probably always going to defeat the Grim Reaper unless for some reason you didn't. So yeah, the boost effect is definitely kind of a joke, but the actual treachery effect is pretty good. So we have the stop card here that shows what cards came in Wonder Man's deck. Then we're going to look at the last couple of cards here, which I'm not going to go ahead and sleeve up. So we have 3 copies of Caught in the Crossfire, 1 copy of Cameo, 3 copies of Coordinated Effort, 3 copies of Disarming Defense, and another copy of Avengers Compound, which I think is very cool that they gave us 2. We're not just left with 1 from Hercules. I think that's nice that they put another one in this one. And yes, these are all kind of like attachments and whatnot and upgrades. Disarming Defense is an event that's kind of niche, but yes, we went ahead and rated those on the tier list. But that is both of their decks. I am super excited to get both of these heroes down to the table. I just can't wait, honestly. Like I've been excited for both of them for a while. It's been a while since there's been a Marvel Champions release as well, so which definitely plays a part in it for sure. But what about you guys? Let me know down in the comment section down below. What are you guys looking forward to in terms of Wonder Man or Hercules? Is there one you prefer pre, Is there one that you're looking forward to in kind of like this pre-release cycle until they get your hands on them? And do you think it's going to change once you actually get them down to the table and get a couple games with them? Let me know down in the comment section down below. That's going to be it for the opening. We're going to have a talking and testing with the Precons against Expert Claw as always. Just some chill gameplay, laid back. I don't play solo a ton, but coming back to Claw is kind of like coming home after a long vacation. So look forward to those. Thanks so much for chilling. Thanks so much for hanging out. See you guys in the next video. Take care of yourselves. Have a good one. Goodbye.